Tonight, I invite you to meet my new favorite rye. It's a beautiful night for bourbon. It's always a beautiful night for bourbon, especially when I've got bourbon. But tonight, I am not drinking bourbon. I'm drinking bourbon's first cousin, or maybe second cousin, who knows. What I'm drinking is rye, and the rye that I'm drinking tonight is Knob Creek Cask Strength Straight Rye Whiskey, barreled in 2010. Now, I bought this a couple of months ago, so I'm going to guess that it was bottled in 2020 and that it's 10 years old. I'm just guessing because they don't actually have an age statement. It just says barreled in 2010. So it is apparently the second release. Oops. And just like Knob Creek, its wax is going to get all over the place. I really dislike their wax. But that's usually the only thing I dislike about Knob Creek. If you watched my old Overholt video, I might have mentioned, it's been so long ago now I can't quite remember what I said in that video, but I might have mentioned that prior to 2020 I had tried rye twice, and I hated it both times. Now, I don't know the ryes that I tried, but I think one of them might have been Rittenhouse. I'm not sure. That name just sounded familiar when I saw it. And the label looked somewhat familiar. So it could have been that, it could have been something else. I really don't know. But I made up my mind about a year ago that I was going to try to learn how to like rye. So I went to the Whiskey Tribe and I asked, what would be the best rye to try for somebody who likes bourbon but really does not like rye? They steered me in the direction of Woodford. So I picked up a bottle. That seemed to be the one that came up the most often. There were several other suggestions, but that was the one that came up more often than any of the others. It was a struggle. I didn't like it right from the start, but by the time I finished the bottle, I was thinking that, I might actually be able to get to like rye. The second bottle that I tried, I got actually in a 3-pack, a sample pack of Bob Dylan's whiskeys called Heaven's Door. That was also a bit of a struggle. I did not find it to be overly pleasant, but I also didn't find it to be unpleasant. By the time I finished that little bottle, I was ready for another. I can't remember. I've been trying to remember. I can't quite remember what I bought next. But it was also a bit of a struggle. I don't know why I can't remember it. It just, I guess, wasn't memorable. But by the end of that third bottle, I was starting to think I kind of like rye. Last fall, I bought a bottle of Wild Turkey. It was just the 81 proof. And it was the first rye that I can say that I really enjoyed right from the very first sip. I really liked that, and I thought, this is actually pretty good. And I ran right out and I bought a bottle of Redemption. I thought, I've got to try another one. Well, I liked that one too, even just a little bit better than the Wild Turkey 81. From there, Old Overholt 114. I decided I'm gonna go with that higher proof and I'm gonna see what it is. Well, I really liked the old Overholt 114. I want to get another bottle if I can find one. I've seen it around from time to time, but it's not always on the shelf. In the meantime, I've bought several other bottles, including this Knob Creek Cask Strength. This is Cask Strength. This is 127 proof. If I liked the old Overholt 114, I'm hoping that I will like this one. It's a nice amber color. Of course, I can't tell anything about a whiskey from the color, at least not one that's been aged in a charred oak barrel. Some of them are a little darker, some of them are a little lighter, but I can't really tell much of anything. What I can say is that this has a bit of legs to it. Again, though, most distilled spirits have quite a bit of legs on them. It's just an indicator of a little bit of oiliness and the alcohol content. Ooh, this has a pleasant fruity smell. I've got pears on here immediately and sour apples. Yeah, it's got a nice sweet fruity aroma. I'm trying to figure out what else is in there. I'm not really getting a lot of spice in this, which I think is fairly surprising given that it's rye. There is some cinnamon there. And for 127 proof, I'm getting my nose all the way down inside this thing. And it's not burning my nose hairs, and this is really nice. It doesn't smell like a cask strength bourbon. There is a little bit of ethanol there. You can definitely tell that, but I've smelled higher ethanol content on much lower proof whiskeys than this. I'm really enjoying this. It's starting to settle in a little bit. There's some other things coming up in the background now. I'm getting some oak, most definitely. I want to say the fruitiness has kind of turned into a cobbler, like a apple cobbler or a pear cobbler. Very, very nice. I don't get a ton of sweetness, however. There's some caramel coming through. A little bit of leather, but old leather. There's a slight mustiness to this. Not quite picking up what else. There's something else in there, though. It's really nice. Let's give it a taste and see what it tastes like. And boom. Yeah, that packs a punch. It's sweet, it's fruity, and immediately goes into a very high cinnamon spice, like a cinnamon oil. Ooh, pepper, black pepper. There's that ethanol kick, that Kentucky hug on its way down. It's got a light finish, though. I'm not getting a real heavy finish, but it is a long finish. That heat. It's just sticking around, that cinnamon spice a little bit. And it's kind of dry. But whereas I normally think that a dry bourbon isn't quite what I want, this is more like drinking a dry wine, where that's exactly what you want. I wouldn't realize this is a rye unless, well, it says on the bottle it's a rye. Certainly isn't bourbon. A lot of the things that I would think I would get in bourbon from this, but other than that cinnamon kick, now I'm getting a little bit of clove. That cinnamon kick tells me it's a rye. It's perhaps a little allspice. A little bit of banana. That's kind of odd, it seems. I don't know that I've tasted banana in rye before. I get that sometimes in bourbon. but I don't know that I've tasted banana in rye. It's just kind of in the background. It's not really front and center. There is a little caramel sweetness, especially just as it hits your tongue. Perhaps a little honey. It's a little bit oily, front of the palate, but it's not finishing that way. It's finishing very thin, but it lingers. The flavors just linger in my mouth. It's really nice. It's a long finish, but it's not a heavy finish. It is spicy though. Meet my new favorite rye. I really liked the old Overholt 114 and I am really digging this. This is awesome. I'm not sure what I paid for this. I'll put it up here in a little text box. But if I see this again, it's a definite buy again. I like this. This is terrific. I learned a couple of bottles ago, really with the wild turkey, that I do like rye. I'm a fan. Not as big a fan of rye as I am of bourbon, but a fan. This is certainly something I can drink and enjoy. If you like my videos, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, leave a comment down in the comment section. Have you tried the Knob Creek Cask Strength Rye? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and y'all come back now. You hear?